Alright guys, so this is the very simple device that I'm going to teach you to use. This is a simple, inexpensive diamond stone, okay, and it has a plastic base with rubber feet on there to keep it still if you wanted to put it on a bench, but I'm going to show you how to do it without a bench. Now this one's a redhead. I got this at Bass Pro Shops years ago, but you can get these on Amazon, eBay, you can get them anywhere for probably somewhere less than 20 bucks. Now this diamond stone happens to be two-sided, and you do want a two-sided one. That's all you'll need is two different grits. This is the, I believe this side is 350 grit, and the other side was 600. Now, the 600 for the fine side may be a little bit on the coarse side, but I've used this particular stone for such a long time that I have smoothed it out quite a bit. So I'd say it's probably around an 800 grit by now. They will wear, even though they have diamond, it's diamond impregnated, they will still wear, okay? So what I recommend to you starting off is to get a two-sided one, maybe one side at least, 400 to 300 for the coarse side, somewhere in there. You could go as low as 200. I wouldn't go any lower than 200, and that's to help you to do the reprofiling and the regrinding, okay? And the fine side, you could go up to 1200. I like to keep it around 800 or 1000, okay? And keep in mind that as you use it, the more and more knives you put on this stone, it will smooth out. When you first use it, it'll seem real rough. Don't worry about that. Just go for it. But it will smooth out after a while. So I want you to get a two-sided one. One side around 1000 grit, the other side around 300 to 400 grit. Okay, for the fine grit, I'd go as low as 800, as high as 1200. Okay, somewhere in there. But that's all you're going to need for a fine bladed knife. That's just a straight edge. That's an edge that is not recurved or an edge that doesn't have serrations. You just have a normal fine-edged outdoor knife, and you need to take care of it. This, to sharpen it and regrind it, is about all you're going to need, okay? And then after I go through this process, all I use after that is a strop with some compound, and we'll talk about that more later. But for right now, I want to get you started on how to use this stone. Now, when you first use this and you get something like this and you take it home, I want you to use the base. What I do is I put the stone right in my gloved hand like that, and I sharpen on that. It gives me a better feel. But when you start, I don't want you to cut your fingers, so I want you to use the base, and I want you to hold the base in your hands, okay? That'll keep your fingers well out of the way, and you can do your practicing like that. But when I show you my technique, I'm going to do it without the base because I just don't like using the base anymore. But if you're in the outdoors, if you're in the bush, and you need to maintain your knife, if you have this and some kind of a strop, that's all you need. You don't need, I mean, you can have whatever you want. You can have a work sharp, you can have grinding wheels, you can have all kinds of angled sharpening systems that are expensive, and use whatever you want. That's totally fine. I'm just trying to show you an inexpensive, no-nonsense way that takes skill, but once you get the skill, you'll never look back, okay? This is what you'll carry in your pack, and I do recommend one that's at least 2 inches wide, 6 inches long. You can go a little bigger, a little smaller, whatever your preference is, but to start, have it at least 2 inches wide, 6 inches long, okay? And this will take care of all of your, even though it is a diamond sharpener, that's okay. On the fine side, it'll make your knife plenty of sharp enough. You can slice paper very cleanly when you're done after you put it on a strop, okay? But here's the technique that I want to show you. Now, this knife, I've already examined it. Doesn't matter what kind of knife it is. I will tell you it is 440C, but those things don't matter right now. But this edge was the second one in the picture I showed you, okay? It was just a fat edge all the way through. So what I need to do is take down both of those shoulders on both sides, okay? Now I've already worked on it a little bit, but I've got some more work to go. And when you're doing a regrind, it's going to take some time. I mean, depending on how bad your knife is, it could take, you know, it may take you an hour and a half, maybe a little less than an hour, but it depends on how bad it is. But the good thing is while you're doing that and while you're keeping at it, you're getting practice. And that's what it is. I can do this without even looking at my work. I can sharpen on here, I can walk around, I don't need a bench, I don't need anything. I just whip this out, put it in my hand, and go to town. I can look around, talk to people, because I'm not doing it by sight. I've learned to do it by feel. Remember, I don't want those training wheels on my bike. I want to be able to ride a bike. I want those training wheels off, okay? So it's a very simple method. Let me tilt this down a little bit so you can see. Okay, so I know I'm not going to put that, when I'm regrinding or reprofiling, I'm not going to put that knife on there like you'll be taught and put it on the edge when the edge touches your stone, because I know that's not what this knife needs. I need to take that shoulder off, so I have to put it way back. And when you're doing this method, there's a difference in feel from when you're grinding that shoulder down and then when you lift it a little up a little bit and you get on that edge, and you can feel for that. So you don't need any marker on there, you don't need a Sharpie line, you don't need any edge angle guide, because you've learned to feel it, okay? So I know on this one I have to continue to take that shoulder off on both sides, so I've just got that in my hand. Remember, you're going to use the base when you start with. I don't want you to cut your fingers off, okay? Put this down a little bit more. Okay, so I'm just holding it in my hand like this. I know that I have to take the shoulder off, so I know where it's going, and I'm just going to use this method, okay? You can make circles, you can go straight up and down, it doesn't matter. You can switch off which side you think you have to do. Okay, this takes some practice and it takes some time to learn this. I'm not on the edge. I'm on the grind that I have to take down, okay? So I could move around, I can lift it up, I could go down, I could do all this kind of stuff, walk around, because I don't even have to look at it. I'm just feeling it, okay? Now, you can, when you look at a video and they're teaching how to sharpen, they tell you find your edge angle, put your knife on there, do 1 stroke, 2 stroke, 3, 4, 20, turn it over on the other side. You can do that, that's fine. But if you have to do some reprofiling, you want to get as much done as possible and as quickly as possible. It does not hurt your edge to do this and make circular motions, okay? It doesn't at all. You could go straight up and down this way, do it that way. Doesn't matter. You are not going to hurt your edge. You're not going to, with practice, you will not end up with an uneven edge. You're looking at your knife, you know, and you know where the problem areas are. Maybe you have to concentrate on the tip. You can do that. You can just work that tip area. If you know that's where it's fat and you've got to take that shoulder down, you just work on it. Hey, I want to do a little bit on the other side. Just flip it over and work on that edge. One thing you don't want to do, you don't want to lose your point, okay? So you don't want to stick your point into it and don't sharpen your point that way, because you'll actually shave your point off, you'll lose it. Go into, okay, the edge. Stay with the edge. Don't dig in with the point. Keep it, you know, so that the edge line is straight and going away from you, and that'll help give you a better point, okay? So that's the method. On this knife, I'm just getting rid of that shoulder. I'm not sharpening yet. I'm regrinding. I'm doing it this way, okay? Turn my knife over, do it this way. Doing the whole knife. Okay? Now when you first start doing this, what you're going to do is you're going to scratch your knife up. You're going to go over the edge a little bit. The edge is going to hit the grind of your knife, and you're going to end up with circular scratches on both sides. That's okay. Don't worry about it. Remember, you have an inexpensive knife to begin with. You're just starting out. You've got an inexpensive knife. You're trying to repair it, okay? So that's going to happen. You're going to make mistakes. You might take your tip off. Keep on going. Keep on practicing. Keep on doing it, okay? And eventually, this is all you'll need. This is all you'll have to do. You'll get rid of all of your other sharpening contraptions. You can do it however you want. You can have expensive Japanese water stones. You can spend hundreds and hundreds of dollars on sharpening equipment and grinders or whatever. But if you want to be totally knife sharpening independent, I think this is the way to go. Or it's a good method anyways. It costs you hardly anything, and you can do it anywhere. My knives are never dull. I can do this on the road. I can do it at home. It just doesn't matter, okay? Now, I will say that some steels, there are super steels out there that are harder than others. You can do it on a diamond stone, that's fine. It'll take a little bit longer. But if you want to learn, you want to start, you want to use a softer steel. Get if your knife is 440A, 420 high carbon, 1095, 1075, some of those common steels that are soft, you can do them. You could even do those on an Arkansas stone or a non-diamond stone. But I'm telling you, get a diamond stone, even if your steel is soft, because it's just going to do a quick job, okay? That 800 to 1200 fine side, that 800 to 1200 grit fine side is gonna sharpen your edge after you strop it on a leather strop. You'll be able to cut whatever you want. Trust me, okay? Trust me on that. So that is the simple method, and it sounds different. Remember, I'm on the shoulder now. I can't get to the edge yet because I still have to get to the shoulder. But that sound and feel will be different when you're sharpening, and you'll learn it. You just have to practice, okay? Circles or straight up and down, it doesn't matter. This is how you want to do it. So get rid of those training wheels, get rid of that bench, get rid of those angle guides, throw your Sharpie away, and start doing this. Don't cut yourself. Okay? Fast and easy. This particular knife, for the problem it had, I probably, on the regrinding and to get it sharp and strop, it would probably take me about it'll be a good hour. I've worked on it so far for maybe 20 minutes, but I'm probably looking at a good hours of work. But if you were in the field and you had to do that and you had what you needed, you can do it. You don't have to go home. You don't have to find a grinder. You don't have to take it to a knife sharpening shop. You can do it yourself, okay? So go ahead and examine your knife, identify what's wrong, and take care of that. Do the reprofiling. And you will be the happier for it. Okay, so we'll continue in another series. Next, I'll get more into sharpening and different grinds and different angles, and we'll show you some stropping and stuff like that, how to finish up your knife. But this will get you started. Practice this. Don't worry about scratching your knife. Don't worry about making mistakes. It's just like riding a bike. You fell down a few times, but you just got to keep on going and keep on going. And once you get it, you'll feel it, and you'll say, okay, there's the shoulder, there's the edge. And it's just like riding a bike, okay? Thanks for watching. Common Sense Outdoorsman. We'll talk to you later.